Okay, you are welcome back once again to the next lesson or the next lecture. And what I'll basically be discussing with you is on the creating of database name. In our previous lesson, we saw how to install the XAMPP app into our local machine, and then we were able to install XAMPP into our different operating systems. And I also provided you a link where you can go to read about the step-by-step guide on the installation process. Now, in this lesson, I'll be taking you through the creation of your database name. Remember that we are trying to install WordPress into our local machine. We don't want to access it over the internet. Now, but for us to do that, there are some necessary things we need to set up. And I would like you to please pay close attention to what I'll be telling you now. Alright, so first and foremost, once you visit your local host slash the directory of your folder, that is where you extracted your WordPress folder to. We also said that you can decide to rename the WordPress folder to any name of your choice. I decided to name mine Alibi. Now, once I visit localhost slash forward slash Alibi, hit the enter key, I'll come up to this page. This is going to be the first page to come up, which is going to put us or guide us through the installation process. Now, it says, welcome to WordPress. Before getting started, there are some things that we need to do. And the item includes that we have to create a database name. We have to create the database username, password, and then a database host. Now, these are all the steps that you need to set up your WordPress into your local machine. Now, first and foremost, let's check this out, localhost. Right, let's check this out, localhost. And now go to phpMyAdmin, because what you are basically doing now, you want to create a database. A database is just like is a storage location which you are creating, which is going to enable our WordPress. Remember that our WordPress has some certain files, and when we are building our website, we need a place, a hosting place where all our actions, our pictures we are going to be putting up on our e-commerce platform, the product title, the prices, in fact the themes, the plugins, and the different tools we need, all the medias we'll be uploading should be sent to a certain storage, and that is a database. So we need to give it a name, and then every database should have a username and a password. Okay, for example, now let's say you are working as a team, or you have database administrators or database managers. Let's say we have like a team of 4 persons, and you need to make them database administrators. Each and every one of them would have to have an account where they'll be able to access it. Okay, a unique account that they can access it to alter changes in this database. So that's why it's always necessary that we have a database username and also a password. Now, in our case, since I am the admin of the platform, I'll basically have a single username and a password to access it. And also we need a database host, which is going to be a local host. Okay, that is a default database host. Remember, we are hosting this in our local system, so we call it a local host. All right, so let's get back to work. Get back here, then click on phpMyAdmin, and once you click that, automatically it's going to take you to this phpMyAdmin interface. Now the server here says localhost. The first thing that we have to do is for us to create a database. All right, and now all you have to do, just click on new here. There's a button that says new. Click on new. You can as well go to databases here, and then you fill in your database name. All right, fill in your database name, and then you click on create, or you can also click on new down here. It still brings you up to this same page. Now I decided to give my URL as Alibi. All right, so all I have to do here is to just get over to the database name, and then I'll give it a name, Alibi. So I'll give it all lowercase, and then I click on create. So please always take note of the database name that you created. Now I can access it here. Currently we have no tables. Now in a database is a collection of tables, collection of rows. All right, and it also has a table name. In our case, since we want WordPress to create all these tables for us, we won't bother ourselves in further creation of a database table. But since you already have our Alibi database, head over to your WordPress installation page, and then while you still keep this page open, you can decide to close this, but you can still leave it open. All right, now come over here and then click on let's go. Then in the database name, the same name that you created, that is Alibi, please ensure that you use the same name. That's the name of database you want to use with the WordPress, and that is the name we just created now. And once you've done that, it says you should give it a username, and by default our username is called root, ROOT. That's the default username that is generated upon the installation of this. All right, and then we have password is always empty, so just clear out this space. Password is empty. Then the database host is usually localhost, so leave it as it is. And then the next thing is to click on submit. All right, so it says unable to write to this config. You can create wp config.php file manually and paste the following items into it. Okay, so it wants us to copy this and then create it. So just copy this. If you are using Windows, I'm not sure this is going to come up, but in case it comes up, just ensure that you follow the same process which I'll be doing now. So Command C, I'm copying this. I'll go to the directory, go to application, go to XAMPP, go to htdocs, go to my Alibi. Then it says we should create a folder, and that folder should be called wp config. So I create a new file. So I'm going to create a new file here. Okay, I'm coming. Create a new file. All right, .php. So let me just rename this to wp-config.php. Then I head over here and then copy everything that is here. Right, I right click, then I'll have to edit this. I'll open it with text editor. Then I'll highlight everything and then paste this here, and then I'll save it. So, and then I'm closing it now. So when I'm done, what I just basically did now is to create. Initially this wasn't like this. You don't need to create automatically, it creates this for us, but since it's asking us to do it, we just have to follow the same process. And then I click on run the installation when I'm done. So it says that we should provide our site title, and our site title is going to be Alibi. Then this username is different from the database. Now if you head over here and then you reload this page, okay, don't worry, we are coming back to that. We are coming to that. Now if you check the username says it can only have alphanumeric characters, spaces, underscores, and a whole lot of them. Now you have to choose your username. This username is different from the username to your database. This is not going to be root. It's going to be a username unique to you, which you'll be using to access your WordPress website. Right, that is your e-commerce admin website. Right, this is basically where you have to visit to. It's going to give you the username you are creating is going to grant you access, all right, as an admin, to have access to your back end, that is your dashboard, so you could upload products to your website, add more users to your website, put up themes, and then design. So it gives you this kind of admin privilege to access your e-commerce platform. So I'll choose a username. It can contain numbers too, right, alphanumeric characters, and then it can also contain spaces and underscore. So I'll just leave it at Alibi as a username. Please take note of your details, and then this place that says password, you can create your new password here, or you can use the auto generated password here. So what I'll basically do, I'll create a password for myself here. Ali by website, Ali by website 2022. So what I do is I have to copy this. Please always copy your password, or you save it when once you are logged in. So I copy it down, and then there's an option that says that you should check your email. All right, so if you are installing this on the internet, or maybe installing the WordPress on a hosting server, you always be asked to provide an email address, and this email address is where your installation details will be sent to. So your username and your password will always be sent to this your email address. And then the next option says discourage search engines from indexing this site. So this is not necessary. This comes into play if you are about to index your website, letting Google crawl on your internet and to rank it on search engines. So you just leave this as it is, and then we proceed with installation of WordPress. So just click on install WordPress, and then it says WordPress has successfully been installed. So now the next thing you have to do now is to click on login. Once you click on login, just type in your username, which was Alibai, and then paste your password, Alibai website 2020. Then you can click on remember me, and then you click on login. Now once you click on login, wow, we have our WordPress installed in our local machine. So you don't need internet connection to access this. All right, so now let's visit our website. Just head over here and then right click. So this is our website. So we've successfully installed WordPress into our local machine, and then we've also logged in as an admin, and we were also able to create database in our PHP admin. Now if I refresh that, we can see now that our database now have a whole lot of columns and tables and a whole lot of them. So we now have WP users, we have posts, we have options, we have comments. So as we install the WordPress automatically generated all these tables for us into our database Alibai. Now this is not necessary. All right, this is not necessary. Now I just showed you how to do this. Now if you are buying a hosting server and a domain name and then installing WordPress on the internet, you wouldn't bother creating all this database. Automatically, as you are installing WordPress, it's going to create for you your database, and also generate the whole of the columns that you need for you to start using your WordPress website. So basically, this is just our first experience using WordPress now. So if you are starting up a blog, it's the same process which you are going to take, but in our case, since you are building something, an e-commerce platform, in our next lectures I'll be walking you through the WordPress basics that you need to have before you proceed to building something of in such categories like for example the e-commerce platform. Right, so I really thank you so much for following me through this lesson, and I'm expecting to see you in my next class.